This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Leadership Show, the place where leaders learn more about themselves and how they can shift the way they lead. Because when leaders get better, families get better, communities get better, and the world gets better. And now your host, Chief Leadership Officer of Shepherd Revolution, David Prosper.
Hi, my name is David Prosper, and I am the host of the Leadership Show and founder of Shepherd Revolution Leadership Academy, where we develop revolutionary leaders. And if this is your first time listening, I want to say welcome to the revolution, my friend. And if you're hearing this and thinking, oh no, this isn't for me, because I'm not really a leader. No, not me. Not me. I want to let you know that you are a leader. And I want to encourage you, because leadership is simply influencing someone's thinking and their behavior. And we can all do that. And to my veteran revolutionaries, thank you for having the courage to continuously turn broken systems upside down. Our world needs more humans like you. Yes, you who are listening. I'm talking directly to you. Because when leaders get better, our families get better, our workplace gets better, our schools get better, our governments get better, our communities get better, and ultimately our world gets better. Let's recap last show. We talked about beginning with the end in mind. It's thinking about how you would want your eulogy to be read, the person you are, your character, and how you've made an impact in the lives of others. Then we gave you six practical ways that you can start beginning with the end in mind. And if you didn't listen to that last episode, please listen. But the first one is having a personal mission statement. And then the second one was having a vision. In the book of Proverbs, it talks about the lack of vision makes people perish. My people perish for the lack of vision. And this is not a physical death. This can be an emotional, and it can be a spiritual death. Then number 3, we talked about positive affirmations. Oftentimes we talk so negatively to ourselves. We need to start changing that the way we talk to ourselves. So having that positive affirmation. Number 4, identifying goals and roles. So we talked about the difference between a vision and a vehicle. Vision is creating that picture of what the future will look like, and you being the artist, and the vehicle is how you actually get there. Number 5, we talked about the organizational mission statement. What is your organization about? And how are you living that every single day? And then last but not least, we talked about family mission statements. How's your family going to be remembered? How is your family going to behave and act and love and share and grow? So those 6 things of how you can, 6 practical ways of how you can begin with the end in mind. So again, we're continuing this reinventing series, and I am just in love with it because I believe in bringing practical value. And this episode, we're going to talk about setting ourselves free, setting yourself free from that phrase, I gotta be me. And if you heard that phrase, I gotta be me, then this is the show that you need to send to that person, or this is the show that you need to listen for yourself. Guilty? I'm just kidding. I remember when I was 5 years old, Space Jam had just come out with Michael Jordan, but I didn't get to see the movie until about I was 10 or 11 years old. And I remember Michael Jordan playing basketball in his backyard with his father. And then he took his last shot. Then he envisioned himself playing professionally one day. So he actually set out that goal. He began with the end in mind, and he started to work towards that goal. He worked out. He was cut from the team a couple of times, but that didn't stop him because he envisioned himself playing professionally. And he eventually made the team, played college ball, and then eventually in the NBA. He overcame a lot of adversities because he began with the end in mind. And he was so good that the Looney Tunes at the time were suppressed by the Mean Team. This was not the Dream Team, but the Mean Team. And the Mean Team was monsters who just dominated the Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny and all his friends. Now, they had an agreement. It was the Mean Team versus the Looney Tunes. And in this movie, if the Mean Team won, then they would dominate the cartoon show. They would own everything. And the Looney Tunes didn't want to give that up. So they needed a superstar. So they called Michael Jordan. They actually pulled him out of the reality or real world into their Looney Tune world. I love it. Now, when they played the Mean Team was bigger, stronger, faster. They just completely dominated. It was just like a whole bunch of LeBron James on the court times 10. And Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes, they were just getting destroyed, pretty much destroyed. And it was a lot to a little. So it's halftime, right? And all of the Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan, they're just down. They have the morale is so low. They're just like, there's no point. They wanted to give the white flag. All of their players have just been just dominated and they're hurt. A lot of them broken a lot of bones, but this is cartoons. So cartoons, you can break a bone and come back and you don't have to go to the hospital, which I wish sometimes real life could be like that. And one of the characters, I remember Daffy Duck, is like, how am I going to rally my team so that they can dominate this game so we can have a chance? So he took a regular water bottle. He put a tape on there and he wrote super on it. And he gave this to all of his teammates. It was like, drink this water. And all of them drank the water and they read it and it was like super. So it was just like, oh man, I'm instantly feeling good. AKA placebo effect. They were like, oh man, I'm feeling good. This is great. Let's do this. And they got back on the court and they started to play like a different team because they drink this water called super. And they started to slow down the offense by playing great defense. And they started to score more points by helping Michael Jordan. And then there was a couple of points left. And they set up the offense in a way that Michael Jordan was the last person to take the dribble and take the shot. Now, I remember this moment as a kid. Michael Jordan takes a couple of dribbles. Couple of seconds left on the clock. He takes a jump. He leaps with everything he has. And then you hear that R. Kelly's voice vibrating in the background. I believe I can fly. Woo! I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. Woo! You could just feel that energy literally right through the TV screen and even through the VCR. Now, when I say VCR, some of you are like, what? VCR? Yes, back in the days, there was a rectangle box that people put a disc inside of it to watch movies. Now we have DVDs, Netflix, and streaming services. Netflix, please endorse this podcast. And you could just feel it right through it. And it changed everything. So let's pray. Dear Dad, I want to thank you for this opportunity to use the gift of speech. Let my words be seeds of inspiration to awaken the places where you want your people to live a better life. I don't know who's going to be listening, and I don't know who's listening right now. But I pray by the sound of my voice, health, healing, favor, provision, protection over them. I pray that they may be receptive and have an open mind. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Now remember, this series is all about reinventing yourself. And today we're going to specifically talk about what it means to set yourself free, set ourselves free from that phrase, I gotta be me. So you might be wondering, what does that actually mean to set yourself free from I gotta be me? It simply means we can change, we can adapt, and we can adjust. You see, how we've done one thing is not how we have to do everything. There's a myth in our personality style that's just an illusion. We can actually change our personalities at will. For example, I don't know about you, but when I see a baby, I'm like, goo goo gaga, goo goo gaga. You can see me, you can't see me. Oh my God, you can see me. Oh, like, you know. And then there's another side of me when I'm giving a talk, or when I'm interviewing, or when I'm speaking to a whole bunch of adults. I speak like this. I am very sophisticated. I'm very polished, and my vernacular is outstanding, and on and on and on and on, right? We change, and we can change at will. So let's dive a little bit deeper. I have some questions for you. What are your I gotta be me statements that your siblings or your spouse wish you could change? What are some old habits that are no longer serving you? What are people you are leading saying about your leadership style behind your back? Some deep questions to ask ourselves. Gary Chapman teaches something called the 5 love languages, and it's super helpful for our relationships. Well, my 2 love languages are words of affirmation followed by quality time. My wife, her top 2 are acts of service and physical touch. Again, we can set ourselves free from that phrase, I gotta be me. Early in our marriage, Audrey would always say this: David, I know you love me, but I feel love most when you communicate the way I need you to communicate love to me. And I would always respond back to her saying, well, baby girl, this is how I communicate. This is how I communicate love. I give words of affirmation. I just gotta be me. She knew who she was marrying, right? Wrong. So, since I was being a hardhead, aka prideful, about being me and not giving physical touch and acts of service, we decided to see one of our pastors, a neutral party that would help me, tell my wife, she was like, you just got to be me. You got to let him be him. But what he shared was that the way I was communicating love was not the way she received it. And when I communicate love the way she needs to be communicated, she feels an abundance of love from me. Hold up. Wait. Time out. So I have to change. I got to be me? Yes, exactly that. So what do as a good husband? I changed that phrase, I got to be me, for the benefit of my wife and the benefit of my marriage, our marriage. So now I speak her love languages and she also speaks mine, and we're both fulfilled in that capacity. So again, we can set ourselves free from that I gotta be me. And sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge. We've been married for a whopping 1 year, and I've been single longer than I've been married. So it's a challenge sometimes. Like, I've been doing this for so long, now I have to switch this up. But if it's worth it, we can always adjust. And now it brings me to this point. As leaders, how many of us think that we're showing appreciation to our staff, our teams, our families, and our clients? Ooh, that one hit you probably right in the chest. We could be thinking the same thing I was thinking about my wife. I gotta be me. This is how I show appreciation and support. But what if we can reinvent ourselves? What if we thought about the needs of others? It makes me think about this verse in 1 Corinthians 10 verse 24. Don't think only of yourselves. Try to think of others as well, and try to do what's best for them. Wow. We can change we can set ourselves free from that phrase, I gotta be me. But, a big but, we have to choose. So I want to leave you with some practical tools, right? There's no use in showing you the goods and saying, set yourself free from that I gotta be me, without actually learning how to do it or being able to do it today or tomorrow. But I want to encourage you to do it today. So here are some practical application, 2 ways that you can set yourself free from that phrase, I gotta be me. Number 1, adjust. You can alter your style if you have the desire and you're willing. So, for example, if you're driving and there's a lot of incoming traffic coming on, you have to adjust your driving skills so you don't die or get into an accident. Or, for example, there's a band coming in the hallway and you're walking in the hallway and there's a group of 150 of them. You're going to either play small or wait for them all to come in so that you can go to your respectful destination. You have adjusted. So we can adjust, but we have to have the desire and the willingness to adjust. Number 2, adapt. Adapt, adapt, adapt. This is when we change to the environment, but not change the core of who we are. I'll say that again. Adapting is when we change to the environment, but not change the core of who we are. So what does that mean? How can I adapt? Well, we're created to be on land as humans. But when we get into water, you ever feel that things on your fingers and it feels like your skin get extra white? And then it's a little drier, but you're able to grip things in water. Your body's adapting from land to water. Just like when we first moved from Florida to Colorado Springs. It's hot as hell in Florida. It's like, I think hell is established in the area of Florida. Like, it's so dang on hot. Like, it's ungodly how hot it is, right? And we moved to Colorado Springs and it's the complete opposite. During winter, it is actually cold. Sometimes it get in the negative. So what do we do as a family? We have to adapt. We can't wear t-shirts and shorts and flip-flops in negative 35 degrees. We actually can do it, but we might not feel our fingers and our toes, and that's not good. Nope, not trying to see Jesus that quick, right? We have to get the gear in order to adapt to the environment, but we still stayed who we are, our core of who we are. So let's summarize what we talked about, because I truly believe repetition is the best way to learn. We talked about setting ourselves free from the phrase, I gotta be me. We talked about how Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes adapted and adjusted to win against the mean team. We talked about how I struggled earlier on in my marriage to fulfill my wife's love language. And then we gave you the 2 practical ways that you can break yourself free from that I gotta be me syndrome. Number 1, adjust. You can alter your style if you have the desire and the will. Number 2 is to adapt. Change to the environment, but don't change the core of who you are. Yo, guys, ladies, fellas, pets of all sorts. I am so grateful that you tuned in today's episode. I don't want to leave you hanging, my friend. I'm not the guy in the locker room that puts his hand up and then when you come by, I put my hand down, or you put your hand up and I walk past you. No, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to high five you right in the hands. Come on, look at the elbow. Let's do this thing. So in order to do this thing, I have the David Leadership Challenge. Can we say David Leadership Challenge? David Leadership Challenge. Let's go. Hashtag David's Leadership Challenge. And my challenge to you is to find the power that is deep inside of you to break those old habits that are no longer serving you. Again, to find the power that is deep inside of you to break the old habits that are no longer serving you. And when you figure it out, what those habits are. For me, for the longest, if I'm open, honest, and transparent, I never thought I was good enough. I lived in a world where performance was everything. Performance was my identity. Growing up, I played football, I ran track, and if you didn't win, you were a loser. So everything was performance-based. And when I worked in the world of sales, if you weren't number one or number two, you're not good, you're not qualified. So for the longest, that old habits that I had is that I had to perform. And when I took these habits on, I started to put those on people in my life, that they had to perform in order to be worthy in my life, because I had to perform to be worthy in someone else's life. And that is a habit that I had to break, and I'm free from that. So if you are in my life, you know how I roll. It's all about you. I want to serve you. I want to love on you. So let's pray. Dear Dad, thank you for what we heard today. Let it penetrate our heart, our mind. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you. May he be gracious towards you. May he give you strength when you are weak, hope when you are discouraged, faith to believe, and joy that is contagious. In Jesus' mighty name. Again, y'all, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. There's nothing worse than talking on the podcast and no one's listening. You're just talking in the closet by yourself. It's kind of weird. Anyways, I want to be real. I used to want to change the world of 7.5 billion people, but that changed for me. I only want to impact one person positively, and that will fulfill my purpose. And I want to welcome you back every other Wednesday of each month for a new episode. And make sure you text the word Leader Shift to 345-345. Again, text the word Leader Shift, SHIFT, not the other way. And let's connect. Let's be friends. And I want you to remember something. If we as leaders are to set ourselves apart, we must start by leading through love, which always comes from the heart.
Thank you for joining us here at the Leader Shift Show. If you'd like access to additional resources and insight, text Leader Shift to 345-345 or visit theleadershiftshow.com. And if you're enjoying this podcast, please let us know and spread the word by giving us a review on iTunes. You can listen to our show on iTunes, Success Radio, Spotify, Google Play, and the IB Network on Spreaker.com. If you have a question for David, send it our way at prosper@shepherdrevolution.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on the Leader Shift Show.